Hi, it's Khandie, your favourite YouTuber. Probably not, but let's get into this because I put a thing out on my social media. If you're not already following me on TikTok or on Instagram, now is the time. I'll put the link somewhere here. It's the same username. Get on it. About the shady side of photography. And I said this was a confession hole. You know, I'm not going to name anybody, but I might use it in content. And people are like, yeah, I've got loads of confessions for you. And I'll be honest, I was shocked. Some of these are really shady and I would say borderline illegal at times. Now, I'm not encouraging you to do these, but these are kind of the things I want to talk to you about and let you know. If anything, this is like a clickbait, I'm aware piece, and let me share how you feel about it. Have you seen any shady actions? I'm not asking you to confess. We don't need you to name in here, but I have a list. I also have the screenshots I went through. I've decided not to put the screenshots up because I want, some of them were identifying themselves with the pictures and then some mentioned some people. I think it was just too easy to do that. But basically, there was a confessional. And let's go through it. And I'm obviously going to say, if you feel triggered by these, I'm really sorry. I am going to put the mic there now. Okay, so first one up was someone confessed to having a fake account on, I assume, a social media somewhere where they would troll their people, or troll people that they deemed as competitors. In fact, what they said was, I have a fake account because I enjoy trolling people because it gives me a kick. It's borderline stalker, sis. I'm just going to say that now. No, we don't do that. This one's a bit harsh, I feel, but I do know that there are people who do this. I always dislike every video they put out. Even though they've got 1 million subscribers, I don't care. My little dislike is what matters to me, even though I subscribe to them. What? So you watch the content religiously, but still go, no, dislike it. And then following on from the YouTube one, I have a fake YouTube account that I log into so I can vent at different people and give them abuse because I don't like what they're doing. That's nasty. These are really nasty. Actually, these are really like, bear in mind photography is about community, yeah? This one's about competitions. I made loads of burner email addresses to nominate my business and then use those same emails to ensure I can vote for me. I haven't won yet, but I definitely always get into the shortlist. That's really bad. I sometimes I do think this does happen because sometimes I'll see someone get into a shortlist and they've literally just started their business like that month or a couple months before. And I'm like, how are you already winning awards? But it does happen. But sometimes I'm like, have you? But I can't say categorically have, but sometimes I wonder. My husband has a software that will keep voting for me in some competitions and I know he's used it. I mean, that's like proportioning the blame to somebody else. I mean, who does that? I mean, who husband has the time to dedicate that? But I mean, obviously they want you to win. And if you win, that's money on your table, I guess. So yeah. Message another photographer's clients to poach them. That to me is really low. That's low. I mean, all of them are pretty low, but that's low fruit. Like you should never do that. I've seen people talk about that in some of the Facebook groups. And I genuinely thought that was just like, we've assumed, but no one knew. But now someone's admitted to doing that. I wonder what you say to them. Like, how is it? Hey, I'm a better one. Like, what do you say? I don't know. If you are here, I would like to know what you say to them. I threw another photographer's business cards away when I saw them at a venue. That's rude. I mean, I know that's happened because I've seen someone do that to mine. I was my business cards were in a certain area and I happened to go in one lunchtime to see if it needed replenishing. And I saw somebody who I knew was a photographer picking up my business cards, all of them, not just one, and just dropping them in the bin and putting theirs in its place. That was shitty to do. That was really shitty. And I called them out for it. So if you know, I'm very much into confronting people about this sort of shitty behaviour, but that really annoyed me, that one. Yeah, don't do that. That's money out of their pocket. They paid to put business cards in. And I think in fact, they're all really crappy, but this is what these confessionals are. I pretended that another competitor had gone out of business when a client mentioned them to me and implied that they had some dodgy dealings. I mean, does that class as slander? You need to be, this is what I'm saying. Like some of these confessionals are borderline illegal, if not already. Claiming someone's gone out of business when you know they haven't and then implying they've done something really bad is really bad to do. Like that is slander. That's awful. That's really awful. Awful. I don't know how to say. That's just awful. I left a fake review for them anonymously. Okay, so this is what I say when people get reviews. Sometimes like you get reviews and they are absolute, especially on Facebook, you'll often see someone will have like a 1 star or not recommended, but the name will definitely not be like a true username. and they won't put a reason why. I always think it's really, like, you need to take those with a pinch of salt. Having 5-star ratings is great, but you know, if someone has a 4.2, that's not terrible. I don't think it's still 4 stars. You know, people go to 4-star restaurants. I just think like we need to be a bit more careful about how we just choose who somebody is. Just because they haven't got 5 doesn't mean they're terrible. And sometimes people don't want to give 5-star ratings because they're kind of in this mindset that it should just be a 4-star. I don't feel comfortable giving a 5-star. I never share their events or their work, even when they share mine. I mean, you should never share yours in the hope that someone shares it back, but I would like to think that somebody would share your work back, like, because you've done it. But I know that sometimes if it's something that I am also advertising, it makes it quite awkward to like share the work. But I mean, I can kind of see why you wouldn't share it, but I can also see like you should share it at least because they're sharing it. But then I guess it's your audience and it's your business, and are you sharing it, therefore endorsing it? If you don't rate it, I get that. I can kind of see that. So that's not bad. This is shitty. Spoiled their advert wedding album they left at a wedding venue that I wanted to be the supplier for. Wedding albums are expensive. What you did was super crappy. They're expensive and you deliberately spoiled it. That's nasty. I mean, these are all... Put my business cards on their stand at a venue. I've seen this happen. I was at a wedding venue that's now closed down because it's become something else. And I remember opening this beautiful wedding album, and I turned it over, and the wedding album had one photographer's name, but inside were all these business cards belonging to another wedding photographer. And all I did was take them out and put them on the side because I felt it was really crappy. Because if you didn't see the name in the inside of the wedding album, you would have known that that was the photographer who'd done it and not the person who put their business cards in. There's some unscrupulous people here. I hide their books every time I see them in a shop. Not right. One, okay, low blow because probably doesn't affect the photographer too much. But secondly, the poor staff have to go and tidy that up. Think of the retail staff. I deliberately misdirected someone at a trade show so they'd missed their talk. I don't know if they mean the person who they misdirected or there was a person they were going to talk. You say deliberately, yeah, that's pretty crappy because I hate to say it, the only loser on this is you because you misdirected, so they'll be like, they misdirected me and they'll put all that anger on you. It doesn't make it out to be good. I copied their price packages and knocked off 50 quid. Right. I'm going to laugh at this because this has happened to me, although someone deliberately copied my entire business packages that I had for something specific and knocked a couple of quid off. But my cost of doing business is not the same as your cost of doing business. And you might actually be doing yourself a huge disservice and actually might have to actually up the prices to cover your costs. So yeah, I do think there's a lot of people who copy, especially in wedding photography, what's in everyone's packages. I do think there is an element of copying to some degree, but equally you should never just copy their prices or do it like I'm just going to undercut them by 50 quid because their cost of doing business is so different to you. And I do have a video all about cost of doing business and stuff like that here, and I'll put it somewhere for you, but don't do that. And the last one, I often pretend I'm busy working and have even gone as far as to fake videos and photos when really I'm just sat at home in my pajamas. I do a thing called Latergram. So every now and then I'll take loads of behind the scenes videos and I won't post them all at once. I'll post them ad hocly just to show like what it's like, but I don't ever imply that that's specifically what I'm doing that day. But I'll be like throwback to this or BTS on this shoot. Like I do like that to have the content to go forward on the days. But I think deliberately, I don't think that that's really shady. I think that might be on the line of clever marketing. I did have some really crappy ones that were really uncouth and really unfair. And some of them were really crappy. And can I just say, these, I hope, are few and far between. I think as a community, we're pretty good. I think this happens in many communities, but it was interesting to see how people confess. There was one that on here that I didn't include, I should include now. Excuse me, gonna sneeze, no. Who basically said that she deliberately didn't pay or underpaid a photographer because she wanted them to learn the lesson. I mean, I don't condone that. And then another said, I deliberately stole their contract and just put my name over it so I don't have to pay for one. I mean, some of these were shocking. I think community is an interesting one. And I really like to think that my friendship circle, we're quite the community. And in fact, I'll post a picture of us together here. This was at the Memorial Day, Remembrance Day even, all of us were together and we always meet out and we're all great friends. And I pass work. When I can't do something, I pass it to some of these guys. And I just think it's really quite nice to have community. I do think we would be naive. We would have a level of naivety if we did not think that some of this stuff went on. I don't know, have you got any confessions? Maybe don't put the confession in, but like, maybe share stories that you've heard. That would be a better one. Put it in the comments below. I'd love to know if anyone's got any other horror stories or stuff you've heard rumor-wise, because I love this confessional. Maybe I'll do another one in a year's time, see how much we've progressed. But it would be very interesting to see how that happens. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell button. I'll see you all in the next video.